Wow, that went on really fast. Damn, it sure is really loud today. What's up, you guys? Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. Brandon Orr down here today with a really good friend of mine, somebody I look up to in the program, somebody I look up to in our community, somebody who gives back. It's got a wonderful story of recovery, and I'm really curious to see how this goes. So I never do anything on script. I always like to do things organically. I don't like to have them to where, reading a paper. I like it to come from the heart, where it comes from. And I remember a couple years ago when I got out of prison, I went to a 12-step program, and I heard this man speak. And when he spoke, not only did I feel like he was yelling at me in particular, but he was really talking about himself. And that struck me about how his goals in his life really mattered, and how the little goals became big goals. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The little goals became big goals, and like, I'm getting chills right now. Like, he really solidified about who he wanted to be in his recovery and in life, and not just for what people see him as, but what he sees himself as. And for me, that means everything, and that's exactly what I try to do in my life and my recovery. So today I'm super blessed to welcome a good friend of mine, Christian.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you can make it today.
I'm glad you guys have me on now.
So let me know something. How nervous are you?
I'm very nervous. But it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. I said a little prayer, before I came over here. Took a little drive to unwind a little bit, clear my head, and I'm here, so it's going to be all right. Yeah,
we have people come on all the time, and they're like it blows me away to think that like a little episode like this could really make somebody super nervous. Like when I first started these, you can ask Stephanie, like I was, but it just becomes more, becomes more comfortable. And like we get guys on here and girls on here that are super nervous, but in the middle of it, it all goes away because it's just like speaking at meeting level, or just to somebody out there that needs to hear your message. And I'm telling you right now, somebody needs to hear your message. So with that being said, how's everything been going with you?
Life is good, man. Life is really good. I'm just keeping my nose to the grind, keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles come at me in life. I take them in, I process it, I move forward. But go ahead and tell a little bit about my story now.
Well, I'm gonna get there.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna get there. So I just have I want to get to know a little bit about where were you? When did you finally decide to make a change in your life? What was the pivoting? What was that one moment where you're like, okay, enough is enough? Can you describe that a little bit for me?
So I had been wanting to get clean years before I actually got clean. I was just dwelling in misery for years and years, and the drugs no longer worked and helped for me. By the grace of God, I was able to be arrested and offered a program to help me get clean and hopefully stay clean. So I was in the treatment court program.
Is that drug court?
Yeah, drug court. And I had no intention on staying clean, or I didn't have no intention on changing my ways, but I wanted to be clean. I wanted something different. So I remember, because when I was arrested, I had been bouncing from state to state, just criminal activities and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I still had a train ticket to go back there. I remember one day, so I was going through the motions. I was mandated to do meetings and whatnot. I was rock bottom, man. I was living at the transition center with a busted pair of shoes, a phone that I couldn't even put minutes on because I was flat broke, living at the transition center, off the county, not even money in my pocket to go buy a soda if I wanted to, and there were other people in similar situations there at the transition center, so I had this group of people, man, and we used to leave the transition center every morning and come downtown Medford and go to meetings, food stamp, trying to get all the pieces together, right? And
those old life goals.
Yeah,
small life goals.
Little tiny steps that we had, and I learned that from the drug court program. They made you set goals, so every time you went into court, you had to have at least 3 goals written down on this piece of paper.
Goal sheet.
Yes, and so I think that's what opened my mind to that, because they would give you rewards for every goal that you achieve.
Pick of the basket.
Yeah.
$5 off your fines.
Yes. $5.
Yeah, Judge Crane, if you're watching, we know, and you too, Boss Support, we know how you guys do.
Yeah. But anyways, that created a habit, right? You do something, I think it's over 40 times, it becomes muscle memory. So, and then I said, well, you know what if I start doing that in my life? And I'm telling you, man, I was like emotionally, spiritually, financially broken. Like,
busted.
Yeah, busted, bro. There was no coming. In my mind, where my mindset was back then, there was no coming back. You know what I mean? I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even open a freaking bank account. You know what I mean? Because of my history, my financial history. Yeah. So, fast forward back to your question. I apologize.
No, I love this.
Yeah,
this is what I look for.
So they had the little group of people, right? Shasta, Anthony, love you guys. There's another one, Dakota. I don't know if you're watching or not.
Love
he's
you,
still
buddy.
out there.
Love you, dude. We're here for you.
Yeah, and so we had this little group, and we used to travel around. You know, I made these incredible bonds, and I love them to death. Still to this day, we're together doing things.
We love you, Shasta. I just want to say that. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's crazy. They don't know, but we know.
Yeah. So going through the motions, 6 months into me going through the motions and not getting a sponsor and not working any steps, just white knuckling it, hanging out with my little group, going to meetings, sometimes 2-3 meetings a day.
No service work, no sponsor,
nothing,
no step work,
nothing.
Not even asking for literature.
No,
oh,
absolutely
nice.
Not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just slide by the seat of your ass.
Yeah, and that didn't work out too good because I got loaded, right? 6 months into this journey, and that was a miracle in itself. You know what I mean? Because I remember. Well, I don't know if I should say this or not.
Do it.
I was still involved in criminal activity.
Yeah,
up to that 6 month
we want truth.
So even though I wasn't getting loaded, I'm a criminal. I was a criminal at heart, and that's what I was doing. So the money was there and whatnot. Because I knew, you know, I mean, I had to figure something out, and that's all I knew. That's all I know my whole life.
Right.
But long story short, I ended up getting loaded, and it was on a Friday. Come Monday, it was time to go to groups and whatnot. And I knew I was clean by then, but it was in my head, and I've been going to these meetings, and it was all, you know what I mean?
It was getting in there.
And I just had all this guilt and shame behind it. And I was like, screw it, you know what I mean? I haven't messed up yet. I've been doing the program 6 months. What's the worst that can happen? So I came clean, and they slapped my ass.
Judge.
Yeah, and they slapped, to my IOP, intensive outpatient counselor. And they threw me in jail for 10 days. Luckily, I was able to keep my job. The company I was working for at the time, who have been a huge
come on, man.
They supported me this entire time, from start to finish. And it's like all I knew was crime and drugs, and that's all I did my whole life. So to have this company, and Derek, if you're listening, love you, brother. And then to the owners, to Mindy, Carol, and Jason, they all have supported me, and been there and invested in me. And I couldn't, at the time, I couldn't figure out, like, why do they want to invest in me?
Right.
I'm just a washed up old drug addict, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so they invested in me, they grew me organically in the company, gave me the skills to be a good manager, and a good leader, and it's awesome because I'm able to take that was so freely given to me and give it back to my team, and give it back to my people in my personal life, and everybody, you know what I mean? I learned a lot on that journey. That's irreplaceable. You know, I mean, what they've done for me is irreplaceable. So the only thing I could do is give it back freely, like it was given to me. I got off track.
It's okay. You know what? So real quick, I just want to say, a lot of people, first off, this is why I like it unscripted, because wherever it goes, and I can work my way around whatever.
Yeah.
I've been pretty gifted to have that. But what I want to say is, like, a lot of people in recovery, that, because for me as well, I identify a lot in what you're saying, because I was telling Stephanie one time that like I don't understand why it goes hand in hand, but like when I was sick in my addiction, like I could have a pocket full of drugs and that's all you needed to make money, but I just wanted to commit crime. You know, like that's like I really had to do work around my criminality. You know, and it sounds like without that work, without full work, which we literally were just talking about before this started, work, which I'm going to get into soon. Like you have a chance of falling back. Do you ever feel like you have, like, when you feel a backslide coming on, right? When you're like, you probably don't have as much today as you did in early recovery, but when you
those
do,
flags start coming.
Yeah. What was some of your halts? What was some of your whoa? Stop! I gotta fix this right now. How did you recognize, and then how did you deal with that?
So some of the tools I use to help me feel those situations. First, speak up. You know what I mean? Talk about it. Put it out there. So
how hard was that in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was hard, but after I learned to trust people and realize that people aren't going to judge me or shun me for being real, the sooner I was able to wrap my head around that, the sooner it made it easier for me to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I put myself out there. I set myself up for success instead of setting myself up for failure. You know what I mean? By saying nothing, I'm setting myself up for failure. By speaking out, I'm setting myself up to success and to be able to push through.
Right. Saying nothing gets you nothing.
Yes.
You know, saying nothing gets you nothing.
Yeah.
We're trying to help.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like how does somebody know when you need help? They're out there flagging the car down, right? We don't. You got to be in the middle of that road in front of that semi.
Taxi.
Yeah. You know what I mean? What other ways did you find that helped you to stop those?
So I play the tape through in my head. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I've lived through the shit my whole life, and I don't want to go back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just reflect on where it's taken me before in the past and what the consequences for my actions were like, and sitting in that 8x10 cell for years on end. That's not appealing to me anymore. You know what I mean? The reward I get from getting loaded no longer outweighs the consequences. So
obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And people are dying out there today. This is, you know what I mean? It's not like it used to be. You know what I mean? Especially with somebody with any kind of substantial clean time. They go back out to where they left off, and they're dead next thing you know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I've heard that story 1,000 times. I've seen it 1,000 times, and my family, God, and my family, like I'm not going to do that to them.
Wow,
I refuse to
I
do
love
that
that.
to them. You know what I mean?
What do you find today? First off, thanks for sharing. This is so good. I'm so glad that you're all up in your emotions. That's right where I want you. Got a big old guy on the couch all up in his feelings right now. Woo! Got him where I want him.
Yeah.
What do you like when you see somebody early in recovery, and you know that they're on the edge? Let's say they're right there. Right. What do you do? What do you say to them? How do you try to reach out to them when you see something shaky? Do you just let it happen, or do you go out there?
No. Like, so, and I've experienced this several times in meetings. You know, I mean, I just see the people come in with like 24 hours or 48 hours, and I remember the marathon meetings. There was this kid, and he was going through it. I could tell. You know what I mean? So I pulled him outside. I gave him my phone number, and I said, you know, you ever need anything, you know what I mean, use that phone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to judge you. I've been there. I know what you're going through. I understand, and I've been there, and I feel your pain. So you just hold on for one more day. You know what I mean? Just hold on for one more day and call somebody when you're feeling squirrely. We could get through this together. You know what I mean? And just generally show them some empathy and show them that you genuinely care. You know what I mean? And love them, because they don't love themselves. You know what I mean? I know that from experience, right? I didn't learn to love myself until about 2, maybe 3 years into the program with Clean Time, you know what I mean? And working the steps. So it's not an easy process, and when you're broken and you're in the situation similar to mine where you're living out of a backpack, and you know what I mean, you have no money, and your family won't talk to you because all the bridges and you burn and all the heartache and trauma you've caused them through your addiction. And you're just hopeless and lost, and you don't know what to do. You know, I mean, it's important that people like us step up,
right,
and try to show them the way and give them
somebody that's done the work and got the time.
Yeah.
The old road pavers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how important is the work to you?
In reference to what?
Recovery.
It's very important. I'm still actively working my steps. Actually, I just seen my sponsor a couple of days ago. In November, I'll have 7 years clean, and
what?
It's crazy, dude. And I'm still actively working my steps, and I'm still praying. You know, what I mean, every, on a regular, and I'm still connected with people. You know, what I mean, in the community, in the fellowship. You know, what I mean, I surround myself with people that are. It's my boss taught me this a long time ago. You know, what I mean, it's like, so you can, when you're trying to invest in yourself and you're trying to grow by yourself, you can only get so high, right? But if you invest in the team and everybody around you, and you guys push the lid up together, you're going to be so much more successful. So I think
it's get it up there.
Yeah, so I think it's very important that even in a world of recovery, that we do the same thing. You know what I mean?
You know, I believe that's so good. Like, I believe in that so much. I feel like without the work, like, you have to do work on yourself every day. You can't stay stagnant. You know, staying at that level of, oh, I've got this. I'm here for you if you think you do. Please call my phone if you think you do.
Yeah.
And if something may happen, which I pray it doesn't, call me, because I answer my phone. There's something that's curious. You look like you've done a little time.
Yes.
How much time have you done?
So I did my first time, California.
With all those awesome single needle.
Barely 18 years old, you know what I mean? I got a 2-year sentence, which I think I did 14 or 15 months on, and then I got out, and I was out for, I think, 20 months, then I went back with a 7-year bid, and I did almost 6 years on that one, 5 years, 8 months, and then got out, and then I did okay for a little while, I think like a year or so. It's probably bullshit, probably like 6 months. And then still living at mom and dad's, and had a job.
How old were you at that time?
Oh God, I'm in my mid-20s.
Okay.
I started doing time at 18.
Okay.
So I was in my mid-20s, I think like 25, 26 maybe. And then after, and then going back out to getting loaded, all I ever wanted to do was get high.
Right.
I mean, all day, every day. Even when I was clean and working, all I could ever think about was, oh, I deserve to go out and get loaded, right?
Yeah. Wait for that check, right?
Yeah, and so, yeah, exactly. And then so eventually it took me back out again, and then I was running and gunning on the streets for a few years. Then I came up to Oregon, and then went to prison up here, got another bid up here, and then got out, and then in and out of jail, and then,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, so.
Well, the reason I ask you, and I don't mean to throw your business on the street, but the reason I ask you is because the one thing I do in my life, and I've been to prison, I've been locked up most of my life, right? And I live with integrity today,
Yeah.
right? This is going to be kind of edgy when I ask you this. So those out there, this is for you, the ones that don't quite understand, because when this question gets asked, you'll understand. How hard was it for you to throw away the convict code?
I still struggle with it on a minute scale.
Because in recovery, you can't. It's not easy to, like, there's some little things like that are hard to hold on to for me, but I'm really learning to wash my hands of it.
Right.
But like being locked up my whole life, the convict code was the code.
Yeah.
But now it's like I want to live a better life than that, and the only way to not live the convict code is to throw the convict code away.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be a convict. I don't want to be recognized as a convict. I want to be recognized as a leader in my community.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that holding on to the convict code.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
How hard was it for you?
In the beginning, it was hard. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff would come out of my mouth that shouldn't have come out of my mouth. I would automatically judge people. I would put everybody in categories depending on what their story is.
Absolutely.
And it just didn't.
Didn't think I was gonna ask that, did you?
No, that's a good one too. You got me a little.
Yeah. Woo!
Well,
Mom, if you're watching.
the important thing is I don't live that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that person anymore, and I am the person that is going to invest in people and better my community and better those around me, and,
right,
and not judge you. Because for me personally, like, I have a story too. You know what I mean?
Amen.
And I've done horrible things to people that were innocent and people that didn't deserve to have these things done to them. So I carry around a little bit of guilt and shame for that. But you know, I mean, I've worked the steps. I've I worked with my higher power to take that burden off my back. So I don't use the criminal code, and if my belief system doesn't align with somebody else, I'm not going to be that guy to get in their face and put them on blast and do all these other things.
Like we used to.
Yeah, like we used to. I just choose to stay in my own lane, and they can stay in their own lane. You know what I mean? And I carry on, and I won't put myself in situations that may make me act out in emotion or anything
so
like that.
The reason I felt it was important to ask you this question was one of the hardest things for me to do was to put down that sense of pride of the criminal code.
The false pride.
Right, yeah. And I want to let you know right now something I've never told you before, and there's a couple other guys out there that I did as well, but when I seen you not use certain words, act certain ways, and I know who you are, and I've seen you in the rooms and you loved everybody. Like, I was like, wow, that dude's not a convict anymore. And like, I looked up to that. Bro. There's a few of you out there that I really was like, wow, if they can put that shit away, so can I. Let me rephrase that. I could throw it away.
Yeah.
I didn't put it away. I tossed it the F out. Like, I didn't want it no more. I wanted nothing to do with it because for 37 years, it got me back to that headspace. So I want to thank you right here in front of everybody. Like, what you do with your life really inspires me. And I've got a few more questions before we round this out. Like, I love these two questions, and I do this all the time. For those of you guys that I'm about to call on, maybe you should watch the whole show and you'll be prepared for it, because I know Chris hasn't. So there's a difference between grateful and proud. What are some of the things you're most grateful for?
Oh man, where do I freaking start?
You're welcome.
I would have to say the number one thing I'm most grateful for is Well, are we talking like?
Nah, man, don't be doing that, man.
All right.
Don't be doing that.
Dude,
man.
so on a spiritual level, my higher power, of course. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm grateful for the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. was that allowed?
I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which you know what I mean? Drug court showed me how to get clean, and Narcotics Anonymous
I love how you
showed me how to stay clean.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's that. And then my higher power, and then my sponsor, of course, Brandon. I love you. I appreciate you.
She'll probably be talking to you about that here in a minute.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
And then the one thing that I'm very grateful for, that actually overwhelmed with gratitude for, is my family. Getting my family back.
Right.
Because when I was out there in the trenches, man, just arms all sore, using dirty broken needles, and you know what I mean, just taking gutter water to get my fix. You know what I mean. The one thing that always stayed with me was my family, and I wonder if they're thinking about me, and I wonder if they care about me. I wonder.
They do.
Yeah,
they're there. They're probably watching right now.
It's the one thing that I wanted back in my life, and they are back in my life. They support me. They love me unconditionally. And on top of that, because for a lot of people know this story, but I'm adopted. So in this journey, I also got my biological family.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, when I was sitting there praying and hoping that I could get my family back in my life, I was blessed by that too. So, and now they're part of my family, part of my life too. So that's amazing. I'm grateful for my mentor and very close friend, Derek Raymond, because he didn't have to choose to invest in me. He didn't have to choose to see me for my potential. You know what I mean? But he did. You know what I mean? He did. He rolled the dice, took a chance, invested in me, and raised me up, and taught me so much about life and about people, and just about how to communicate, how to treat people. Because in the role of management, you know what I mean, a lot of these bigger companies, they don't do a heart count, they do a head count, you know what I mean?
Right.
And one thing Derek taught me was it's a heart count, you know what I mean? It's not about the numbers going out the door, it's not about all these other things, it's about that person.
Wow.
And what can we do to better that person's life
That
and
was
make
good.
them feel comfortable here with us.
Wow.
So yeah, really grateful for that. And just for my friends that have always stuck there by my side, been there with me through this all. Brittany, my best friend, she's my next door neighbor. I love her to death. Thank you, Brittany, for always being there for me and making me feel young at heart.
Cooking.
Yeah, and cooking. Going to the gym with me, and just being an awesome friend. Shasta, Anthony, I mean, the list goes on and on. I got so many people that I'm close to.
Love those. Every
Josh Lines.
Yeah, I love all.
Great dude. I love that dude to death.
We'll go ahead and just say Kenny
Kenny.
No, we love you.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are really great, and like those are some of the things like people need to look forward to. Those are like that was like the exact answer that I was looking for. You know, people, they don't know what they're grateful for until it's right. You know, in their addiction, they don't know. They have an idea, but once they get clean, like, man, I have a lot more than I thought I did.
Oh my God, yeah.
So the next one is, Chris, you've got almost 7 years clean. Long 7 years, right? Done a lot with it.
Yeah.
What's your proudest moments?
Oh man.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
My proudest moments. Getting my license back.
Come on, man. Freedom right there. Getting
out from under all the collections and child support.
Come on, man.
And getting myself debt free.
You don't have to know. You don't have to know how high his credit score is. But ladies, he might be single. No, I'm joking.
Maybe. And then opening a bank account.
That was big for me too.
Yeah. Taking my parents to a meeting of Narcotics Anonymous here in the Valley. They live in Kentucky.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think I had 2 years clean at the time, maybe 3. I don't know. It was a while ago. But they came for the summer. They stayed out here for a week. And
was it for one of your birthdays?
I think it was around my birthday, but I don't think it was on my belly button birthday because I'm a Cancer. June 26th is my birthday, so.
Cancer, July 11th.
Yep. So.
Come on, man.
I don't think they came until like July or August, so, but it's a little foggy. But to be able to take them to a meeting in Narcotics Anonymous and introduce them to all you guys, and share my story with them in the meeting, and then to take them rafting. They'd never been rafting. They were I think my mom was 61 at the time.
Wait a minute. Did you say your birthday was June 22nd?
26th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got buried on the 22nd. I was like, wait a second. That's weird.
Yeah. Let me see more proud moments. So
how about your new car?
Yeah, that's a proud moment.
That's a proud moment,
When I
bro.
got my license, I saved just enough up to get a modest little vehicle. You know, I mean, paid in full, no kind of payments or anything like that. Drove it for almost 2 years now, and then so back up a little bit. So the past 3 years of my life, I have been working nonstop. Not only at my office job, which sometimes goes anywhere from 40 hours up to 60 hours week to week. And then I'd come home and do art and work at my home, taking no days off for months on end. Eating top ramen.
Stacking bread.
Eating top ramen, not going out to the movies, not going out to eat, doing all the things, making the sacrifices for the past 3 years. And I had a goal and a monetary, financial goal that I was trying to hit so that I could step away from my career as a warehouse manager and step into the realm of a tattoo artist, because art's my passion. And hitting that goal and being able to go to tell my boss, hey, look, it's time now. You know what I mean? I've applied for the school. They've accepted me. I only got 2 weeks left here with you guys. I'll be stepping out. So that was a proud moment for me. And then
a little heart-wrenching too.
Yeah. For everybody involved. You know what I mean? I know
But you're still in good there. You're still your people.
Yeah, and I'll be going back to them part-time.
Wait for me.
And then the car. So in that process of making personal sacrifices and working hard and staying focused and driven and dedicated, I put away a lot more money than I realized I did. So,
oh really?
I've always wanted a twin turbo inline six, German engineering.
That old straight six, baby.
Yeah, and it all just kind of fell into place, dude. And I called the dude, Randy at Integrity Auto Sales.
Yeah, Randy.
You guys are awesome. He's another brother of ours in recovery. He started his own car lot. Great customer service. Always looks out for his
He
people.
couldn't have picked a better name for his car lot, bro.
No, it's amazing. And so I remember when I bought my first vehicle from them, there were some issues a couple weeks afterwards. And dude, he came to my work, took my keys, took the vehicle, got everything fixed, brought it back to me before I got off work.
That's how he is, man.
Yeah,
That's
and
how he lives his life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so
he's a great guy, man.
yeah, so and now I got the car, and I'm just it's an aha moment, you know what I mean? Like, super grateful. I love the car, man. But it's not the monetary thing so much. I mean, it's nice to have nice things, but for me, it's the journey and the people that are involved and I come across on this journey, and that's how I plan to spend the rest of my life. It's all about the interaction, the human interaction, and being able to spread that human kindness, and to be able to show people there are good people in the world that, you know what I mean, and when I'm able, you know, and when I'm able to be able to help and support. Like I had a friend, she's a single mom. She'd been struggling with her finances and whatnot for a long time, and she was at the point where she could get her license back, but it was the money thing that was keeping her back, and I was able to put myself out there and help her get her license, which was, I love that, you know what I mean, because that my parents helped me get my license, which mom and dad, thank you very much, I appreciate it, but without them, I probably still wouldn't be driving. I probably would be at this point, but it would have been a lot longer of a journey. And so for me to do that for a friend that doesn't have family to support her or doesn't have those things to support her, and to be able to help her get a license, it made me just feel my cup runneth over, brother.
I love it.
I mean, yeah.
I love
so
it.
just to be able to do those things and to show people that there's good people out there and the human spirit's alive, and that we can change lives, and you know what I mean.
Amen.
And we can just add value to this world and the community we live in, dude. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
We have a question.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
You guys, Stephanie's always to the side, ready to pop. Get him, Steph.
How often do you update your goals?
Who's
From Benjamin Menard.
Oh, Ben, how often do I update my goals? He's my analyst at work. Awesome guy, Ben. Love you, brother. How often do I update my goals?
What
It
a great
depends.
question.
So when I started this journey, they were really small goals, a bunch of little tiny steps. You know, it's like the ladder, you know what I mean? And to get to the top, to that big goal, you got to climb the ladder. So, stop messing with stuff, bro.
No, bro, you keep hogging out of the screen.
What do
Continue
you
with
want me to? Wait, 6 feet, bro. 6 feet.
In
Bro?
between visions.
Okay. But I update them regularly, and as soon as I achieve a goal, that goal usually branches off into several other smaller goals to get to the next goal. So I hope that helps answer your question or not. And then sometimes I'll just get a wild hair and say, you know what, I want to do this for whatever reason. I'll have little side goals too. So I have all these little things lined up.
You're a goal-oriented type dude.
Yes, you know what I mean? That's, if I want to get to where I want to be in life, I have to be. There's no other choice.
Do you write them down, or do you?
So I haven't gotten to the point where I write them down.
But they're all
up
okay.
here.
That's how I am too.
And that sometimes that throws me off course. But now that I'm starting tattoo school and I'm starting this next venture where I'm about to open a business and a clothing line and all these other things, I'm going to get a big old board on my wall and I'm going to start writing it down. Yes, a whiteboard. I'm going to break it down. I might even get 2 different boards because I have huge aspirations. Huge aspirations.
I have a sign over here that says "Think big, now think bigger."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I live. Right?
And I have this one thing on my desk, right? It says, "Good things come to those who hustle."
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Without the hustle.
Stephanie needs that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie's a hustler. Is there any other ones?
Yes, we have another question
Okay.
from Derek.
Right.
Let's see. What's your favorite quote?
Oh, thanks, Derek. I mean, God, I gotta think about this one because there's so many. You know what I mean? There's so many.
You just said a couple, so we kind of answered it in the.
Huh?
You just said a couple there, but
No, I'm drawing a blank right now. That sucks.
You know, there's for those of you guys who love quotes. Like I was telling Stephanie yesterday, we were kind of talking about quotes, and if you guys want to hear some person who's got lived experience, who survived addiction and came back and bounced back like a boss, Robert Downey Jr. Look those up, dude. He's got some quotes on there that blew my mind. So Robert Downey, if you're watching, call me. You never know, man.
think bigger.
Yeah.
That's funny too, because like all the time I'll just blast stuff on Facebook. Just stuff will pop in my head, and I'll put my own quotes and put it on there. And
No, you
it's
do
like
do
now
that.
Yeah, now I can't even think of a single.
Yeah, and your phone's way over there, so you're booked. Yeah, I'm like, because you do.
Go look at the board. That one was my favorite. The one I put on the board right before I left.
There you go.
Is there any other ones?
Nope.
Okay,
That's
so
all I got.
I just want, before we go, I just want to say, thank you. How do you feel right now?
I feel great.
It's not as bad, not nerve-wracking. You know,
Once I got talking and I kind of focused on you,
right?
and not that.
That's
camera.
what you got to do.
Yeah,
Just
made it
let's have a
easier.
conversation here, not here.
Yeah.
So there's people out there right now, we know, that are struggling. We know that they. Dang it. We know that they need to reach out. We know some people out there that are really going through it right now, that are that their ass is falling off. If you could say something to them right now, and they're watching, would you mind looking at the camera and telling them?
That we all love you. Life's about balance, man. And when you're feeling squirrely, for me personally, I sat my ass in a chair at a meeting in Narcotics Anonymous. I see so many people out there in this world where they think taking this route's going to save their life and is going to help them get through this addiction, but the addiction doesn't go away because we're fucking drug addicts. Oops.
That's right.
It's okay.
And people are dying out there. So if you don't go to the place that is known and proven to help drug addicts stay clean, you're never going to make it, man. Pick up that phone, call someone, get a sponsor, work the steps, go to meetings regularly, find a higher power. Those are the things that are going to save your life and help you get through anything. Without taking those steps, man, you're just white knuckling it.
That's perfect. I love you so much.
Love you too, bud.
I believe in what you stand for. I'm going to stand for what you believe. Okay. Well, you guys, that's about going to wrap this one up. Well, we really appreciate you guys showing up today. Had a pretty big audience too. Pretty impressed. For you guys that stuck around up there, we thank you. We really would appreciate you like our page, Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. Share this, get it out there, let people know what Chris had to say today was actually relevant to a lot of what's going on in our lives today when people are out there suffering. We love you guys to death. We just want to be here, man. We want to let you guys know we love you. We want to let you guys know that we resource the heck out of anything we can to help. We do not give up. We don't give up on you, and we're not going to give up on trying to beat this disease known as addiction. You guys know my number. I say it at the end of every episode. Brandon Orr, 541-890-0590. If ain't nobody told you we love you today, I freaking love you.
Me too.
All right, you guys. God bless.